This is my first of a few videos on federalism and a certain topic or a certain issue. So this is federalism and marijuana. Federalism is the division of power between the state, the national, and local levels. So there's this, for 200 years, there's been this fight and this tug of war between the national government and states governments. Who has the power to do this issue? So the 10th Amendment is basically the governing document for the states' rights and states' power. It states that if the powers are not included in the Constitution, like enumerated, if they're not denied the states, they go to the states and or the people. The elastic clause, the last 18th power of the Congress, states that Congress has the power to, any necessary and proper power to basically enforce or to upgrade or to work on with any of the expressed powers. So if you have the express power to tax and you have the express power to regulate trade, then you can do the Civil Rights Act, because the Civil Rights Act regards trade and regards companies that do trade between different states. So they could do the Civil Rights Act. So we have this idea of federalism. Now, what is it with marijuana? State of California at one time said that marijuana trade was intrastate trade and that marijuana had nothing to do with interstate trade. Well, the Supreme Court said no to that and said basically that it is interstate trade and Congress can regulate marijuana. So we have right now in this country, we have states that are legalizing marijuana altogether, like Colorado and Washington and Alaska. And then we have states that are doing medical marijuana, like Arizona, and some other states that are legalizing marijuana by medical reasons. The federal government has marijuana as a type 1 or class 1 drug, so it is a felony to possess, it's a felony to use. So you have this issue of what's going to happen in these states. Is the federal government going to prosecute the dispensaries? Are they going to prosecute people? Are they going to arrest people? Or are they going to not be arrested? Companies have an issue of, they're going to do drug tests, and what happens if somebody has drugs, but it's legal to have drugs through medical marijuana, because marijuana stays in your system for 30 days. So you might have not have done it today or even this week, but it's still in your system. So you've got a lot of issues, state and local. So who rules? Now, Obama for the last 4 years has not been prosecuting dispensaries, not prosecuting people, but he did in his first term. Now with Trump coming in, Trump and Jeff Sessions do not like marijuana. Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General nominee, is looking at possibly maybe changing Obama. So what will happen in the states? What will happen in California or Arizona? It is against the law federally, and that is with the law in the states. So who wins? Who will basically be the correct one? Well, basically we know with the Constitution, the federal power is the supreme power. So federal power trumps state power. So you can see people being arrested. You can see dispensaries being closed. So a lot of things could happen in the future with this. Should marijuana be a national level where we decide this, where if it's legal in one state, it's legal in all states, or should we leave it up to the states? Some of celebrity people that I've heard, like Bill Maher, Penn Jillette, and others have said that marijuana is a civil right. I've never thought of taking a drug as being a civil right. But at the same time, if you can do it in one state and you can't do it in another, that means that you don't have the rights or the same rights in different states. It's kind of strange that you might be arrested in one state where something's legal and you have proof that it's legal. So want to get thoughts on people's idea with medical marijuana, legal marijuana, and state passing laws saying it should be legal and the federal government still saying no, it's not. So it's a very interesting issue with federalism. Who is right? Well, we always know the federal government wins, but who knows in the Supreme Court? Who knows what the courts will say? So think about it, talk about it, and we'll be discussing this in class.